Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Michi Makes Up. Today we're going to take a look at the latest Chanel collection, Chanel de REVE, or the Dream Collection by Chanel. I picked up two items from this collection. One of the two, I think, when we look back at the end of the year, we're going to say this is probably one of the most anticipated items from their makeup collection. And this is going to be their highlighting powder called REVE de CAMELIA. And look at that embossing. So pretty, and it makes me not want to go in to the product, but I did already. I did swatch it and I did post on TikTok and Instagram. It's just so beautiful. It's just like peachy beigey shade undertone to it. What I want to do is put this sort of lightly all over one side of my face so I can show you guys how, or maybe some different ways you can use this product. And then on the other side, I do want to use it as a concentrated highlighting product. So putting it on the high points of my cheek and perhaps like on the tip of the nose, right here, Cupid's bow, and then around here. It does come with a brush. So this kabuki style brush, which I think makes it a good or great application for all over face or just certain areas even. So we're going to try that. We're going to put this all over the face using this kabuki style brush. And then on the other side, I'm going to use my usual highlighter brush and we'll see how that goes. And then my second item, or the other item that I picked up, is from their Cocoa Flash line, 168 Halo. That is pretty, so pretty. And it's just a glittery balm with a slight purple undertone, which I would like to put on right now because my lips can use the hydration. The Cocoa Flash collection is probably the most comfortable lipstick lip formula that Chanel has. They also have Cocoa Bloom, which came out last year, and that Cocoa Bloom it's more pigmented. I'll take out one of the Cocoa Blooms that I have for comparison, but the Flash collection is slicker and more emollient, more hydrating. But depending on the shade, you can get actually a little bit more pigment. This here is fairly sheer, as we can see, and also the swatch on the back of my hand. But I feel like if you're looking for something nice and light, got some skin right here, but if you're looking for something nice and light, especially for spring and summer, with a hint of like something, a little something, this is really pretty, really natural looking too. So let's move on to the highlighter. Let me swatch for you guys. So I just went around quite a few times. It does have micro glitters, but it's just this really beautiful kind of warm shade. And this is very concentrated. So I would expect this to be for when you want that, you know, on the high points of the cheeks. I'm gonna go in now with the brush that came with the product and just swirl it. And then I got quite a bit of product here. I'm just going to do that. So you can see, although quite a bit of product deposited onto my wrist here, you can see how it's light enough where you could use it as an all over face powder, or if you want a very subtle highlight, you can use this brush as well and just, you know, kind of do that to these areas to just give you a little bit of reflectivity. When the light hits it, it kind of gives you that nice natural glow. So let's go in and do just that. I'm first going to go in as a all over face powder. I don't want too much, so I'm going to just tap off some excess here. And I'm just going to start on my cheeks. I'm going to avoid the area under the eye because sometimes if it's too glistening and bright, it can actually make you look tired, especially in photos. So this is with like 2 gentle applications And this is what it looks like. Very soft, but very beautiful. And when I'm looking into the vanity mirror for a closer look, you can definitely see there's like a soft light on this side versus no product on the other side. It definitely does look like you have another layer on, but it's not, you know, in any way it looks like thick or unnatural. It's still very elegant and soft looking. So let me head on to the other side and apply it as a concentrated highlighter. So this is what the right side looks like, used as a concentrated highlighter. I do have a little bump on here, which caught onto some texture, but it's not bad. The powder, even though there's micro glitter, it really is soft overall. So if you're worried that, oh, it's gonna show some texture, I think it's gonna be minimal. We see it both on this side, it's minimal, as well as here, especially on this bump. So let's leave the products on for now. I want to spend or come back to this after like 10 or 15 minutes when we've done the comparisons. And I just want to see if there's any transformation or changes to the areas we've applied this to. First comparison I want to take out and do for you guys is going to be, let's start with the highlighters and then we'll move on to that Cocoa Bloom lipstick that I mentioned earlier. I'm going to take Chanel's Forever Couture Luminizer in Pink Glow. And I just want to swatch it and show you guys similarities or maybe differences between the two. So Pink Glow is even, or as it looks here, softer than the Camellia highlighting powder. But I would say when this goes on, it definitely reflects more. It looks way more noticeable. It's not quite as soft, even though on the swatch it looks like it's about the same or maybe even softer than the Chanel, but I would say this really packs on and really reflects light. Then there's also from one of my favorite is the Fleur de Printemps, also from Chanel. I'm just taking the highlighter. This item is sold out, but I just wanted to show it because it is the only highlighter I still have from Chanel. I decluttered another one last year. This one, like the Dior, is going to be, it's not suitable for an all-over face powder. It truly is just for highlighting. And you can see this like peach pink undertone here is going to be pretty noticeable and obvious. You might be able, depending on your skin tone, you might even be able to use this like almost as a blush as well. Then looking at one of my favorite highlighters, this is the Chantecaille Éclat Brilliant. And it is much brighter than Camellia. I think if you go in soft enough, you could also use this possibly as an all-over face powder, but I really just enjoy it as a highlighter because of that warm golden tone. And you can see this is a little bit more sheer, so I think this is better as an all-over face powder. You're less likely to like have too much added on your face unintentionally. And then when it comes to all over face powders, we definitely have to include Hourglass's Ambient family of powders into the conversation. This is right here, the Infinity powder, and let me just show you guys. It's not a highlighter, but the Ambient powders does have a beautiful softening effect that is reminiscent of the effect of Camellia. And the other product I'm also thinking of as an all-over face powder is Guerlain Meteorites. So I have here Pearl Glow, which this was released as a limited edition last year, so I think it's not available anymore. I'm just going in with a finger for swatching. With the Guerlain Meteorites, I do think it's meant for more all over face, like a bigger surface area coverage. I suppose you could go in and make a very concentrated swatch to use as a highlighter, but there simply are just like a lot of good highlighter choices. So I think if you do have meteorites or you're interested, it's probably more for all over face use. And then I have here Burberry's Face and Eye Palette. They do have one highlighter. It's like a peachy golden, really pretty. It is, as the name implies, it is a highlighter, not all over face powder, although it is soft enough that you might be able to use it as an all over face powder. In fact, it's actually less glittery than Camellia, but I wonder if you would get that same effect without this glitter. And because we're talking about all over face powders from luxury brands, I have to include Dior's Powder No Powder. This one has a soft glisten, soft sheen to it, so we know it's not going to be as bright, but it is a fantastic product that controls oil, blurs, soften. So I think when it comes to like an all over face powder, this one is the lightest, but it's one of the best all over face powder that does all those things I just mentioned. And then for the lip products, I have here the shade Dream in Cocoa Bloom. You'll see what I mean, that it's more pigmented, much more pigmented than Halo. But it is also very emollient, creamier than the Cocoa Flash formula. And in the Cocoa Flash formula, I also mentioned how, depending on the shade, you could actually get more pigment, even though it is emollient. So this is Sunbeam. This is a limited edition shade, but you can see it's almost very similar to Bloom because of how pigmented this shade is. However, the texture is going to be like that of Flash, more emollient, slicker versus creamy. I will say though, between Bloom and Flash, the two last about the same. I do think Flash overall is more comfortable, but they both last about 3 to 4 hours before you need to reapply again. And this is just assuming, you know, you're taking maybe sips of water throughout that time. If you've had a meal, you would definitely need to reapply to get that pigment back. Well, now that some time has passed, I just want to come a little bit closer to show you how the products are looking on my cheeks. And I would say all over face, really, really beautiful. The next time I wear makeup, I'd like to do that for both sides because I really do like that softened, glistening look. Curious to see if, you know, once the natural oils really come through, if it just adds further to that or it doesn't. Or maybe it's kind of neutral, which I hope is the case. So I owe you guys an update at a later time. As a highlighter, I think I have other highlighters, especially the Chantecaille one. It is truly one of my favorite highlighters. I would probably prefer all of these other highlighters over the Camellia, but for all over face and to give you a bit more impact, like this is the powder. Really, really pretty. And the face powder is unscented. The Cocoa Flash, so Halo, what I'm wearing right now, has the regular classic Chanel scent like all the other lipsticks, but this does not have a scent, which is really nice. I really like that. I really like that. I do think the powder will sell out. If this is something you like what you see and you keep thinking about it, don't wait to purchase it. It's gonna be gone, and I'm not sure they'll even restock it again. So definitely pick this up. Don't wait. I'll see you guys again in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.